Hi again, everybody. It's now it's evening, as you can tell out the window. The sun's going down, and it's so much cooler. It's cooling down, and we're getting a cold front coming through. Apparently, so this is the word on the street. I just looked it up, and it's raining, and I've decided to be more accepting of the weather and the conditions, and that changes your whole attitude. It's a miracle. Um, so I thought I would come on. I just wanted to share this deck. I haven't really worked with it yet. It's Madame Endora's Fortune Cards. Um, Really pretty box, pretty deck. And I've just never played with fortune cards before. I always thought they had to have such a spiritual purpose. And I'm kind of loosening up my attitudes about that significantly and just becoming curious again about what all of it is, what all of it means. And these are lovely. I edged them in purple not long after I got them. They just felt right with that purple going on there, and I have been so happy with it ever since. Just to see the backs of them and then get that flash of purple just makes me happy. So the structure of the deck is really interesting. It's not like anything I've seen before. Um, it starts, it has a little white book, and it starts with the cards that are labeled the court, or the royal court. So I thought I would just go through each of their kind of like the little suits that go along with this deck. So the first suit is, this is the royal court. So we have the king, which is authority and diplomacy. The queen, which is love and prosperity. That is exactly what I thought. That is the whitest looking Egyptian I've ever seen. What an interesting choice. It's not really apparent in the first card. I wonder why that choice was made, or if it was even conscious. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I mean, those kinds of moments, like when because I haven't spent a whole lot of time with it. Like I said, interesting. So I don't know, it just bugs me. I'm just going to say it. It bugs me because there's an opportunity just to portray an Egyptian like an Egyptian, right? I don't know, I'm also aware of it too because I have a child in the 3rd grade class that I've been subbing for who is Egyptian. And I think one of her parents teaches locally at Washington University as a professor. And the kids in that 3rd grade class are working on writing books, and they have to write a nonfiction book about a subject that's important to them. And her subject is about educating people about Egyptians as contemporary human beings and in history and archaeology, and including things about religion and language and the whole 9 yards. Anyway, one of the things that really bothers her is that a lot of times people think Egyptians are white, and they're not. So I don't know. It's just especially present because of that. So there's the wizard. Use your skills and aid others. The seer, who is also the cover of the box. And this is kind of nice too. This has kind of got that lovely Art Nouveau feel to it. Maybe I'd like to say charitably that might be what the artist was going for. I'm not familiar with Christine Philippak's work, so I don't know. The knight. And obviously the keywords are obvious, so that if you're playing with them, that's interesting. The maiden represents a new relationship blossoming. Minstrel. Yeah, so there's one more, sorry. And the Harlequin. True feelings are masked. So that's interesting. So they've represented a court, But the meanings given to these cards aren't necessarily ones that I would immediately associate. The king's obvious. The queen is relatively obvious in terms of like her meaning. So is the wizard. The seer's pretty good there. Knight. The maiden, I guess, is where it kind of I don't know. I'm not sure I would have associated that with the maiden. Or the minstrel, let your intentions be known. I get where they're going with the harlequin. But the harlequin, actually, where that started in the Italian, I just know too much. Where that started in the Italian court, a harlequin or an arlecchino would not have been necessarily masked. He might have been wearing makeup, but a court jester wasn't always wearing a mask. They were an entertainer and a fool. Yeah, I suppose. And the way we teach Commedia dell'arte today, which is where the harlequin or the arlecchino comes from, it's a mask. So, all right, I'll buy it. I'll take it. I'll quit analyzing and worrying about that. Okay, so the next part is the realm of Fable. And this part's very interesting. Let's see, the spirit is the last one. Okay, so the realm of Fable, pretty awesome. The golem. A close friend acts on your behalf. So, because, again, I'm a nerd, obviously, major nerd, one of my favorite books is The Golem by Gustav Meyrink, written in 1916. Yeah, 1916. Because I remembered when it was going to become public domain, because I was going to turn it into I was going to do like a novel adaptation into a stage play. So, yeah, I was waiting for 2016 to come around, and then when it came around, nobody was interested in... Anyway, that's how it goes. Art. Fun times. But anyway, the golem is not... well, it's Jewish, first of all. It's nothing to do with the European court system, because Jews were thrown out of it, and it would definitely not have looked anything like a knight. But is a mythological creature, and it definitely acts on behalf of the rabbi who activates it. But it's made of earth. It's kind of like a clay zombie that's brought to life to act on behalf of the rabbi that makes it alive, brings it to life through magic. So very interesting. The Golem of Prague is what I know it from, because the novel The Golem was also made into a movie, a silent film in the 1920s. There's a lot of really interesting literature about the golem. I've read several books about golems because of that interest and that curiosity and that mythology. But anyway, that is kind of cool, though, the way it's been adapted. Except that, yeah, definitely would not have been an acceptable thing in a medieval court, I don't think. I might have to look that one up. I just nerd too much. Okay. The Green Man, the forces of nature favor you. Yay, we love it when the forces of nature favor us, don't we? Okay, hindrance. I like the look on her face. Fate has blocked this path for you. Moo ha 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 ha. She's very sly. Medusa. Jealousy leads to downfall. Yeah. That's the nicest looking Medusa I've ever seen. Medusa is normally portrayed as, I mean, Gorgons are pretty horrible, ugly looking creatures, and Medusa was a Gorgon. She would not have been nearly this beautiful. The Satyr, revelry and indulgence. I have heard people pronounce it satire. Again, my classical training in theater and in Britain sometimes betrays me in ways that make me seem very snobby, and I'm very aware of that. But satire, if we had pronounced this word satire, we would have been thrown out of voice and speech room after a point. Yeah. A satire is satire, and that's a particular genre of of art, literature, theater, etc. But a satyr is this mythological Greek Pan-like creature that represents revelry and indulgence. Seduction, passion, and romance await. See, that makes sense to me. More so than the maiden. These have all made sense so far. Serendipity. Let's get her more in focus and not... She's hard to see and make out even in the card, the way it's printed. Very pretty, though. Bright new prospects are on the horizon. Siren. Yeah. Temptation may lead you astray. And the Sphinx. Oh, yes. Yeah, the riddle of the Sphinx and all of that. Choose your words carefully, lest you get the riddle wrong and then you don't... Not only do you not get into the city gates, but she kills you. Just how it works. The Spirit. Unseen forces watch over you. So that is, let's see, that was the realm of Fable. So next comes the Bestiary. And that starts with the Black Cat. So like a Black Cat Bastet, almost. Your luck will soon change. And this one, again, I pronounce chimera, the chimera. And I pronounce it that way because, I think because of a TV show or a film. I can't remember which. I feel like I listened to it or saw it on television, and it was most decidedly pronounced chimera. I've also heard chimera, chimera. Heard a couple of different pronunciations. Imagination clouds your judgment. The Dragon, strength and wisdom. The Griffin, honor and good luck. And the Raven, darkness looms on the horizon. The Serpent, a sly and subtle approach is needed. The Spider, be meticulous and patient. You know, that I really like because I was at my mom and dad's recently and we opened the front door, and in the time since I'd arrived at their house, which was maybe like an hour earlier, maybe 2 hours earlier, there was nothing there. When we opened the door again, it was insane. There was this huge, like from maybe the heart space upward to the top of the door was, a big circular, it was an orb weaver, big round web, and she was so beautiful and so patiently just continued, even though I was sticking a camera in her face and filming her, continued to just weave her web and go from one to the next, attaching all the way along. So patient, so gentle. Unicorn, good fortune and friendship. Interesting choice. And the Wolf, I've just got a notification up here I'm going to get rid of. There we go. Beware who you trust. It's not your grandma. It's the Wolf. And the Wyvern. I don't know what a Wyvern is. I may have to look. I'm going to have to obviously look that one up. Your secrets are safe. Back to the black cat. Okay. And then we have the Treasury. Okay. And the Treasury starts with the caduceus. You will receive news from afar. Yeah, okay, I see where that's coming from. Then we have the chalice. Rejuvenation and fulfillment. The dagger. Conflict and danger lie in wait. The gate. A barrier keeps you from your goal. I love this one. The hand of fate. Forces beyond your control intervene. The hourglass. Time is of the essence. The key. Locked doors can now be opened. True love and fidelity. Interesting. The mystic circle. Your abilities will be enhanced. And the oracle. Seek wisdom and guidance from elders. The shield. You are safe from harm. The talisman. You are destined to succeed. And back to the caduceus. So there's that, and then there's just a few more, and these are the elements. And I think these are the fewest number. Your perseverance is rewarded. The moon, you will be guided through darkness. The stars, a long journey brings rewards. Seek a union of mind and spirit is the air. And then all of the signs, air signs are listed here. So we have Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. And Earth, same thing. Utilize logic, reason, and common sense. So we have Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. And then fire. Reckless actions lead to conflict. And we have Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. And finally, water. Emotions are at their peak. So we have Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancer. And then finally, winds of change. Your surroundings will undergo transition. And that's it. So that is Madame Endora's fortune cards, which I edged. They don't come purple like this, but I did it with a Sharpie. And so far, I haven't had any Sharpie rubbing off on my hands at all with this one. The only time I've ever had the Sharpie rub off at all, and I've Sharpied lots of decks, has just been with my Santa Muerte deck. And so, yeah. So I don't say put the kibosh on the old Sharpie, but beware if you're doing it, I guess, with Los Scarabaeos cardstock. It's a little iffy. So those are Madame Endora's fortune cards. All right, everybody. See you next time. Bye.